Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Guild Spotlight. We had a little bit of change of schedule. Strats has been moved back to the 19th. Instead, we've invited on Twistbeard and Shiv from Grievance Final Fantasy XIV Guild. Welcome, gentlemen.
Howdy.
Thank you.
Excellent. Now, Twistbeard, you are the guild leader, correct?
That is correct.
And Shiv is the raid leader?
Correct.
Awesome. Good to have you guys here. Well, start talking about it. So, how did you, Twistbeard, how did you get involved with Grievance? Where'd you come from?
Oh man, I've been part of Grievance now for quite a few years. The old me used to be known as Zarvius or Grins, depending on if I was PvPing or PvEing. The moniker Twistbeard pretty much was always an alt that I had in all the games I played, and it settled in the secret world when I was playing as Grins mostly. From there I went into, and that was with Grievance, obviously. I was a recruiting officer back then for, and a task leader for the secret world. From there I went to Guild Wars 2, played with Grievance there. I mean, technically I've played with Grievance in all the games they're in. But I became the guild leader of Final Fantasy XIV. I originally played the 1.0, the original release of Final Fantasy, and it was, for lack of a better word, it was a horrible letdown. And then when finally they released the re-release, it was amazing, and I've always been passionate about Final Fantasy. I'm pretty sure you could speak to any person on the planet and they played some kind of Final Fantasy game. So when they reintroduced the game in 2.0, and it was great, it was wonderful, that's when I got really interested again, started posting on the forums. At the time, Foxtrot was going to be starting the guild up as guild leader, and immediately wanted to get involved. And originally I was the PvP officer for this guild, and once Foxtrot got everything all set up, Ghibli took over for a very short time, and life things and stuff happened with him, and he wasn't able to continue that job. So they looked to me, and absolutely the group of players, Shiv, Vadrana, everybody that was around at the beginning, it was something that I did not want to see lost. So I raised my hand, absolutely. I got these people together. Everybody's worked fantastic since then. So that's how I became, I mean, that's the short version of how I became the guild leader for Final Fantasy XIV.
Excellent. Well, let me explain something for those of you who might not be familiar as with Grievance. Grievance gaming as a whole is not exactly what the correct term would be off the top of my head, but is a large guild. It's not just specifically one game. Grievance has its hands in, I don't know, what do we say, at least actively 8 to 12 games right now, with smaller divisions in smaller games, embassies, and such. So Grievance itself is a rather large organization. And with these two in the Final Fantasy division of the guild. I just should explain that real quick so people are aware. I gotta ask though, why Twistbeard? Because you don't actually have a beard. As far as I can tell, you have no hair at all.
So the reason why I don't actually have a beard is because of my career. I'm not allowed to have beard. But the name Twistbeard came from all of the characters I've ever played, except for, ironically, in Final Fantasy, because apparently Japanese people don't like beards. So there really is no beard choices in the game. But the name Twistbeard came from all the characters I've ever played. I've always played either a demonic caster of some type or a tank. And, you know, as we know, casters have the long, scraggly beard, and tanks usually have the big, burly, or knotted up beard. So I always had that on my characters. And it came about because I was always known as Zarvius, I mean, since Asheron's Call, and then Grins for my PvP character, because people always get all upset about PvP. I thought it was a nice twist on that. So when it came, I got tired of basically using those, and I wanted a different personality to say. And you know, the tanks and the way I PvP is more of a Viking-esque style. So Twistbeard just seemed right. It just came to me one day. I don't know. But yeah, if I could grow a beard, like I say in every cast, if I was allowed to, it's an epic beard. I did have a beard once in my life. I just can't have it no more.
Ah, maybe we'll get Dash to throw up that epic beer that we were talking about on the screen for a moment. But while we might consider him doing that, Shiv, how did you start with Grievance, and how did you end up in Final Fantasy?
I started Grievance with Guild Wars 2 on the Jade Quarry server, and then moved with them to Devona's Reach, which I think is where they ended up. Kind of got disillusioned with the game, but still stuck with Grievance. Got into the beta Final Fantasy. I played 1.0 like Twisted, and horribly disappointing is probably a very good word for it. I have other words I could use, but they're not family friendly. So I got invited to the beta because I was a founder in that, and I was like, I don't know. I did 1.0 was just so bad, but I tried it, and I was hooked. It's drawn me in. I have not played another MMO since last August when the game went live, and I was in both betas. So basically, since last June, I've been playing this game and have no intention of giving it up. It's a blast.
Well, excellent. Now, how did you end up as the raid leader for it?
We wouldn't say we struggled at the start. We had a couple raid groups going. We had a raid leader. We went through 4, I think.
Yeah, it was 4.
It was 4, but finally I stepped up and Twist gave me a grueling interview and made sure that I wasn't going to go anywhere, because we had the problem with our raid leaders deciding to quit the game after they stepped up, and we need some kind of consistency. And I've been doing this since January, I believe, and like I said, it's fun putting together raid teams, trying to help the raid lieutenants get their teams going and make sure everything is working well. The content in this is really difficult. It's 8-man content, so making sure all 8 people are on point and not blowing up your raid teams is it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Sounds also a little bit difficult when scheduling comes down to.
Well, yeah, since it's 8-man content, we have 4 static teams running right now. They all fluctuate depending on, we have a weekend team that raids Saturday and Sunday. Our team, we have a guy who works swing shifts, so our raid rotates every week depending on when he's available. Twist raids Friday and Saturday, and our newest raid group raids Mondays and Wednesdays.
So you're pretty much scheduled throughout the whole week of active raiding.
Pretty much.
And then the days that we don't have our statics running, we have a casual raid 2 days a week too. So Monday through Sunday we have something going on.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly moving.
Yeah, the next big thing we're actually going to throw out there is they added the ability to queue as alliances, which is 3 8-man groups for. They're more of a casual rating, Circus Tower. So we're going to be putting the call out to see if we can get 24 Grievance members to run it together as a guild building exercise, just going in and having some fun.
Yeah.
All right. Now, when you're discussing alliances, is this anything like our gauge and alliances outside of Grievance, or is this just strictly in Grievance?
It's just strictly in Grievance. What they call an alliance in Final Fantasy is 3 8-man teams. Typically, right now, we use what's called the Duty Finder, which is Dungeon Finder from WoW or other games, where you say, "I want to go into this dungeon," then it pops up, and you get put in with random people. So it's a party finder that just kind of randomly matches you up. With the latest patch, we have the ability to have 3 8-man teams of all Grievance people, and we form as an alliance, so we get to queue as a group, which is something we've never been able to do before.
Okay, so yeah, you're really getting. Go ahead.
I was just going to say with 3 full groups. It was something we haven't been able to do before. Before you were limited to 8 people at a time. Now we have the capability of 24 people. So it should be a blast.
So it sounds like Final Fantasy is kind of stepping their toes into a large group rating that like WildStar and such is doing with the 80-man raids, I think.
Yeah, I just hope they don't get to that point.
Yeah.
That's a logistics nightmare.
And I've said this a couple times, but I have to reiterate, because I've have experience from MMOs all the way from Asheron's Call until present here, and they tuned this game's rating not to say other games' rating isn't difficult, but in this game, 8 people, if one person makes a mistake, it destroys the whole raid group, and that's not a miscommunication there, really. If one person makes a mistake, the whole raid group wipes, and they throw in a wipe mechanic at the beginning. Halfway through the fight, a new wipe mechanic with the original wipe mechanic, and then towards the end there'll be 2 or 3 more wipe mechanics on top of the ones that was already in there, and stuff starts speeding up, and so it really makes it. That's why we were having problems with raid leaders, because keeping people focused was really difficult, and it's a full-time job. I mean, it's kudos to Shiv. That's something I don't want to do, so I appreciate it.
Yeah. Also, on the flip side, most of the teams actually run themselves, which is good. I step in only where I need to. In addition to the white mechanics that he's talking about, there's also enrage timers on almost every single fight. So you can't just do it slow and learn the mechanics. You have to be going all out and doing your job to the best of your ability.
To the wall. All right. So now, Shiv, you've been with raid leader since January. Twistbeard longer than that as guild leader. Where did you guys pick up the guild, and what kind of situation were you at when it started? You know, what kind of member level and.
I've been here since the start.
Yeah, I've been here since the start. When we took over, though, when I took over leadership and brought in new officers and all that, I'm trying to use the politically correct words here. People did a fantastic job on getting the guild started and created. However, we started kind of like Arcage and, maybe not at that massive a scale, but like ESO when they first started in WildStar, we started with about 400 people. But out of those people, we got a lot of trolls. It was pretty sad. And with that, they started kind of trying to dismantle our guild from the inside out, and that was breeding into TeamSpeak. It was breeding into the game. It was breeding into the community, and stuff was being done to try to curb that. But like I said, things were happening with the other guild leaders in real life. They couldn't be here all the time. Officers at the time were also. I mean, it was a sad state of affairs originally. Not to take away, I love Ghibli to death. I love Foxtrot to death. They both did fantastic jobs. But they are, we all know Foxtrot is one of the busiest people in Grievance with everything he's got going on. Yeah. So when Ghibli took over, that's when real life stuff started hitting for him. He wasn't able to be on a lot. I was the XO at the time when Ghibli took over. And I did my best to try to enforce things that were going on. But, long story short, when I took over leadership, there was a sweeping amount of guild kicks and bans, and basically, I didn't care about being 400 members. I wanted 100 or 120 solid, friendly, and that's where we're at right now. We're at 120 members. About 20% actually get on TeamSpeak, but if you were to log into the game, the guild chat is very active. Everybody's very friendly, very helpful. It's basically, I log in and I have fun. We have officer chat. We keep in touch. What's going on? Nothing. Everything's good. People ask for help. It's already done. We're pretty much like a Swiss watch right now. Everything runs itself. It's really, really, really nice. It's fun. The drama is non-existent. It's really great.
Yeah, once you get over the hurdles of the opening and weeding out the trolls and stuff like that, it's gotten a lot easier. What's kind of your current struggles or difficulties that you're having right now, other than it doesn't sound like you have too many?
I would say right now the thing that I'm trying to do is more team building, because the game is so, like we were saying before, built on the 8-man content. It has to be 8 people static all the time. You really can't interchange too many people, and when you do, it's like starting all over. So when you lose one member of your group, it's like you take all these steps back to try to catch back up where you were before, because like I said, one person makes a mistake, it wipes the whole raid group, and there's more than one in each raid, and blah, blah, blah. So really the struggle, if that's even the right word, because there really isn't a struggle, but what I'm working on right now is the team building. I want to get this 8-man raid group and this 8-man raid group and this 8-man raid group all together in a 24-man, just for team building. The raid is going to be a joke compared to what we're all raiding already, but it'll be fun. We'll throw in, a drunken raid night, or highest DPS, gets to try to run through naked, or, whatever, to make it fun, just to build camaraderie. We already have a great group of people. The camaraderie is already huge, but just to continue to build that until Square adds more content for more than just 8 people at a time. Right now we have that one 24-man raid, and that's what we'll do until they release more stuff. Other than that, I mean, it's, like I said, a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, it runs well.
Now, one thing I'm not familiar with, does Final Fantasy have PvP, or is it just strictly PvE?
Yes. Yes, it does have PvP. I happen to be a very, very good PvPer. They have arenas, which I'm not too fond of. The implementation isn't to my taste, but they do have frontlines, which is a 24 versus 24 versus 24 giant map with strategic areas to hold and a rally point in the middle that adds points as you go. It is very, very, very fun.
Yeah.
It's the funnest arena. Like when I say arena, I don't mean small arena. I mean giant arena style PvP I've ever played. And every game I've ever played, I always PvP. So it's if you're interested in PvP, it's a blast. I mean, they make it fun. If you lose, you had fun. If you win, you had more fun. So it's not like, in other games where you lose, you're like shit, and you want to get back in, and you feel like no. It's, I mean, I have all the max armor and the war horse and all the stuff from PvP, and I have a blast. So does Shiv, and so does many other people in the guild.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't been doing it as much lately because I've been trying to get other things taken care of, but I'm going to get back into it.
All right. Now, do you have a dedicated PvP division or PvP group, or is it just more so, hey, we're going to do a PvP night?
Go ahead.
Yeah, unfortunately, the way PvP is, and this is a downside, you have to align with what's called a grand company. There are 3 city-states in Final Fantasy, and you basically align with those grand companies, and you push their interests. The Frontlines area is those 3 grand companies fighting each other as test. It's a war games type thing. So the majority of the guild has aligned ourselves with Ul'dah, which is Immortal Flames. Other people have not because they, for role-playing purposes or whatever, don't want to switch to a different grand company. Unfortunately, they can't PvP with us because you have to be in the same grand company. So that's, I don't think it's created a problem in the guild because most people who haven't switched don't like PvPing already. So the people who do enjoy PvP have all switched over. So we do have a fairly large group of people who go out on a regular basis.
Okay, good. Now, you guys just had a recent small update, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would we add any content with that, or?
The next step in the relic weapon quest, which is your relic weapon is your big weapon that you can upgrade as you play the game.
Artifact, relic.
Yeah. This last patch has some more quality of life changes. The next big patch is 2.4, which is tentatively scheduled sometime in October. They haven't announced it yet, though.
All right, what's coming in with the 2.4 update, and how's that going to impact your current guild?
2.4 should include more storyline content, which this game has in abundance, and the storyline is amazing.
Yes.
If you are into story, this game is the one to play. But they will be going into a new area. We get a new primal, which is a large boss, god-type creature. We get to fight Shiva.
Possibly two. Odin
they might be
as well.
Yeah, they might be bringing Odin, who is currently an open world boss. They are talking about adding the gambling place, the brain fart.
The card game from Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VIII, they're bringing that in. But the
the Golden Saucer.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Brain. So the gambling, chocobo racing, all the just fluff stuff. But yeah, the card game from Final Fantasy VIII, which is a huge draw for a lot of people because that was a really fun side game. Other than that, I'm assuming the next stage of the Binding Coil of Bahamut, which is the raid content. It's the hardest raid content in the game. And then there will be one more patch that will add more Crystal Tower, which is the 24-man stuff. And then the expansion sometime next year. And 2.4 adds a new class. Yep, they add the ninja class. Actually, it's the rogue class ninja job.
Right. So you start out as a rogue. When you get to level 30 and you unlock the side class, you can make yourself a ninja, and we'll probably have 80 ninjas running around at the start of that. Also, they've talked about frontline changes, improvements, or additions. To go kind of back on that question you asked before, Currently, we don't have any kind of PvP officer. Usually, either I act that part or Shiv will act that part, or whoever. It's kind of right now there's really no need for it. However, if with 2.4 they add in extra stuff that makes there more stuff to do in the front lines, then that's something we will definitely be looking into if we need to add a. Sorry, my dog is running around all crazy. Add a PvP officer or not, but it's definitely something that we have talked about in length. Originally, I filled that role before taking over XO and then guild lead, so I'm kind of already suited up for the job.
Yeah.
But if there becomes more involvement with the guild, definitely we will be looking into that. That patch, though, everybody's looking forward to it. It's going to be, going to be awesome. I mean, we could talk here for 3 hours, and we're not going to cover all the stuff they're going to add.
So, I do have to ask, with this new patch, because you dropped the Chocobo Racing and the card game, are we going to have a Final Fantasy Casino division? You guys going to have, like, dealers and
it depends on how they implement it.
Yeah.
They very well could be.
Yeah, they have a tendency to sometimes go a little overboard with I won't say grind, because there's an inherent grind in any MMO. This one limits it somewhat. There are some grindy things that I'm not a big fan of, but nothing that has really irritated me too much. Nothing like say Aeon, which was nothing but a grind.
Right. It's like when you go out and you purchase a Rolls Royce, you're a millionaire and you go buy that Rolls Royce and you complain that the grain in the wood isn't perfect the way you want it. That's the best way I can explain Final Fantasy. It seems to be, and of course, being the guild leader, it's going to sound biased, but I've played many games and I will praise, I love the Secret World story. It's amazing. And I love, World of Warcraft's, nostalgia and Guild Wars, I love all those games, but this one seems to be, polished. Like the stuff you expect from Blizzard, but you don't get. It seems like you get that every time in this. And then when they do something, it's like holding a diamond and going, this isn't the clarity that I wanted. Give me another diamond. And they do it. They go, okay, we're going to adjust it to this and this, and there you go. How do you like that diamond? And it's even better. And this game, if you haven't tried it, Wendol, specifically, if you haven't tried it, I recommend that you try it, because it might be the game that you've been looking for the whole time and don't even realize it. It's amazing.
The biggest draw for me is I like not being locked into one character. Every other game, you have your tank character, then you have to roll an alt, then you play your alt character, and then you feel like your tank character isn't getting the gameplay that he needs, he's not advancing. This game, you can be every class on one character. You just change your weapon, and one day I'm a tank, next day I'm a healer. I can craft everything in the game, just all in the same character, so I don't feel like I'm screwing myself by playing an alt.
So,
and people still know you as Shiv. You're not Shiv, and then hold on, let me get on my alt, Shiv number 2. You're Shiv the whole time.
Yep.
So it sounds like it's fairly easy to put groups together then, just because you don't have to worry about, well, I need to find a healer, and
exactly,
because we've got 4 tanks.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the people who have taken the time to level up multiple classes they're the most versatile, and they're I wouldn't say they're key players, because everybody in the guild's great, but they definitely make building teams a lot easier.
Somebody's alt is Gloria?
Shiv's alt apparently is Gloria.
I wasn't aware of that one. Maybe I have some more retainers and they can go out and harvest me some stuff.
Now, you were discussing sometime in the beginning of the year that there is an expansion on its way down somewhere. Obviously, guessing no date has been given yet.
Yeah.
Where do you see the game and your guild going down the road, in the future?
With that expansion, they have already said, and they've withheld. They've given everything they've said so far. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this will probably be the same. But they have said that with the expansion, it is going to introduce as much content or more than the entire game itself when it was released. So that alone is probably going to bring in hundreds of thousands of more players. So I'm expecting our guild, because we're not hardcore, but we're definitely not casual. We're somewhere in the middle. We have players in our guild that have cleared all of the content in the game, and we have players in our guild that are struggling to get through some of the content that most of the guild has been through. So we have, everyone in between, and we cater to everybody. I mean, I don't know if cater is the right word, but everybody has fun regardless of what level experience you're at. So I foresee with the expansion, our guild possibly exploding in membership. With as many people coming in, I think our server we're currently on is medium population. They're probably going to, direct people to that server first, or I mean, all the servers that are not high. So we might end up doubling in size. So that's something we'll have to prepare for. The closer it comes to launch, I'll be getting my recruiting officer, Philzy, we'll be talking, and all the officers will get together if we need to have more officers, if we need to brace for that. But so far, everything they've thrown at our way, even the stuff that's been kind of sideways at us that we didn't expect coming, we've been able to achieve greatness. I mean, the guild house, I think I speak about this in every cast, but it's sat with me because the amount of effort it took for the entire guild to get that mansion was amazing. I mean, to see all those people, and it wasn't like, hey, everybody, for a week we need to really work hard. No, it was months and months of the entire guild every single day working towards this goal. And because of that, we were one of the first guilds on the server to get, I mean, I think we were the third guild to get the mansion. I mean, the biggest plot of land and the biggest house you can get. And it's, I mean, it could be 1 a.m. your time, and when you go to that mansion, there's people there, and it's really, I'm hoping that they put more content like that. And in 2.4, they should be adding in the airship dock, or might be adding in the airship dock. So that'll be another awesome thing for the guild to work together to get, and I'm really looking forward to that. I might have gone kind of off subject, but that's something that's really stuck with me, because seeing all these people work together like that, that pretty much put the stamp in forever for me that I'm not going nowhere. This game is, this guild and everybody in it is, I'll do anything for them.
Yeah, it's definitely the people. The people make this guild what it is. It's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of Grievance members have always been really good. Even going so far as the Grievance's charity work and community outreach, which I'll talk more about it towards the end just to bring it up. But are you guys ever being involved in the Extra Life Gaming on the 25th?
I've been involved with it in previous years. I'm not sure what my involvement's going to be this year. I got to look at my schedule and see if I can actually participate for 24 hours. I'm not sure just yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's always for me. If it's on one of my days off, I've always participated. That's something that I think everybody should do. If you don't have to go to work that day, I mean, why wouldn't you do it? That cause is amazing. I mean,
oh yeah,
you're having fun and you're raising money for a great cause. How could you? I mean, it's the best of both worlds.
All right, so we have to keep an eye on the schedule and see when we can get some Final Fantasy footage coming through. I'll talk more about that later. Now, I want to ask you guys if you have any stories or any awesome stuff you want to talk about. Also, I'm doing that if the chat room can pop up any questions they might want to ask. That's everything fun or epic you want to share? I see heads nodding.
No, it's not. I'd like to ask the entire chat channel. Twist and I sound nothing alike. I'm not sure where this comes from.
So, yeah, forever now, there's 3 of us allegedly that people confuse, and for a long time I thought it was people just trolling, the ha ha ha. But new members do the same thing. Oh, hi Twist, or hi Shiv. What the hell is this? Is Twist, or what the hell this is Shiv?
Yeah.
And then there's another one in the guild, Marcellus. And they say we all sound alike. I don't hear it, but I can't hear what's coming out on your guys' end, so I don't know. Yeah. I guess Shiv can start off, I guess, with any stories he has.
The guild housing thing is probably the biggest one that sticks with me, too. Just watching everybody, we did spirit binding. We had multiple groups, because you spirit bind gear and it breaks down to other gear that you can sell for copious amounts of money, and we did that every Sunday for 2-3 months. We didn't flood the market because we controlled it well, but we watched everybody come out and just having fun and spending several hours out there binding gear, all the crafters coming together, making all the gear for everybody. Nobody had to supply anything themselves. We supplied everything for everybody. You know, the amount of dedication that our crafters have shown. We have some of the highest end crafters in the game. They can make anything, and
high quality every time.
Yeah, and you just bring them the mats. You know, they have a backlog, but they will get to it when you can. Story wise, that's probably about the biggest one.
2%.
It was 1%. Okay, so yeah, we'll tell that story. Turn 7, Binding Coil of Bahamut. There's a mechanic where you get it's called Cursed Voice, and if you happen to, it's a
white mechanic.
Yeah, so it turns people into stone if they're standing inside your telegraph. So the way to get around it is you turn around, don't face anybody. There's also another skill that the boss uses called Petrifaction, where if you are looking at the boss, you get turned to stone. If you're turned to stone, you get hit. It's an instant kill. So this is occurring. We're down to 1%. The boss gets Petrifaction. I turn around because I also had voice. I see a flash thinking that it's my voice going off when it was really Petrifaction going off. I spin back around just as my voice goes off, and I freeze both the healers and the off tank.
Keep in mind, this is their first kill, too.
This is our first kill. And we got the kill because I didn't freeze the DPS, thank God. But yeah, that was that's why they call me the 1%.
Yeah, he's a 1%er.
Not let you forget that either.
No, that's the nice thing is once someone does something one time, it's stuck with them. You can ask Isan about that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, there's been, many candid moments especially with raids and everything else. Some of the funnier things that has happened in the middle of a raid, and somebody had gone to the dentist and had their wisdom teeth removed, and came into the channel, and was drugged up, obviously out of their mind, and ordered food after having wisdom teeth removed, which in my opinion is not the greatest idea, but. Whatever, they order food, yeah. And when the person came to the door, they didn't have push to talk on, so they go to the door and still all drugged up, and the whole conversation. Oh man, I love you, man. You're my. Yeah, I love you, and I'll give you a hug right now. And so he has this whole conversation, and then sits down at his desk and proceeds to eat his food, and the whole time, talking to his food. You watch the videos of people coming out of anesthesia. That's like kind of what he was doing. He was talking to his food, eating, and we're trying to have a raid. So it was obviously you have to be there to get the real hilarity of it, but it was hilarious.
Yeah,
I can imagine. I've come back in anesthesia. My wife has told me some of the stuff I've done, and it is funny. Don't text and be under anesthesia. All right. Before I let you guys go, I guess no questions from the chat room right now. Is there anything you guys wanted to add?
Come play Final Fantasy 14.
I respect all the games. I don't want to poach people or anything like that, but I understand very well how you log into an MMO sometimes and you just stand there waiting, and then someone will log on and you'd be like, oh, hey, you want to go do this for the 100th time? And you slowly lose interest in the game, and before you know it, you don't even play anymore. And before you know it, you're only checking the forums once a week. And then before you know it, 3 months have gone by and you haven't even stayed in contact with Grievance. So when I say come try Final Fantasy, I'm not saying, hey, quit the game you're playing and come play this one. I'm saying come try this because it's a great, fun game, and it could be exactly what you need to stay with this community. And out of all the guilds I've ever been a part of since I was a teenager until now, there is there is no such thing as the grass is greener. Everywhere else is black because Grievance. It always turns into a Grievance pitch, but you know, it's weird. It's almost cult-like because the people in this community are amazing. I can jump in any channel. Hey, how you guys doing today? Oh, what's going on? Oh, you're the guild leader for Final Fantasy, or oh, you're the officer for here, or oh, hey, you play Final Fantasy, or you play Guild Wars or World of Warcraft. Hey, come here, let's show you this. You check this feature out. It's awesome. I will never not have a game to play with people that I've known for years. It's amazing. So come play Final Fantasy. If you're getting bored, or if you're looking for something new, or if you're not currently playing a game, or if you want another game to play, come check it out, because the game is amazing. It's not, it's not a pitch. Come see for yourself. Everybody that's come, and the people that have even left, have come right back because the game is great.
All right. I want to throw out there and remind everyone, Marissa has a cast that she does. I think you guys have been there a few times as well, right?
Yep.
She does it every other Friday evenings. Same channel, same Twitch channel here. On the 10th of October, she, I believe, is giving another Final Fantasy 14 game away. If you want to try it out. So if you want to watch her, 10th of October, looks like she's doing another giveaway. Just to let you guys know, Squigbiz is trying to get in contact with somebody in recruitment. So in the chat room, you guys want to talk to them.
Yeah, absolutely. You got that, Shiv?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. A couple things before I let everybody go for the evening. Next week, we'll be talking to Midnight Mafia Incorporated. They are a Guild Wars 2 guild. I invite you guys to follow us on Twitch, Grievance. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Also, I want to bring up the Extra Life. Grievance Gaming and GTGN, we're doing an Extra Life 24 hours streaming gaming on October 25th. It's a Saturday. We spoke to a little bit earlier. The Final Fantasy Guild is going to be doing a few hours, hopefully, of gameplay. It is to promote the Children's Miracle Network. So please, if you guys are available even for a few hours, come watch us on the 25th. Donate and help them out. It's a really good cause. Other than that, I think that's it. I'd like to thank both of you for coming on. Hopefully you guys had a good time.
Always.
Yep.
Check them out, grievancegaming.org. You can sign up through the guild through there. Find them on, which server are you on?
We are on Midgard Sormer. It's the name of a dragon from Final Fantasy.
Okay. So make sure you roll up on that server, Midgard Swarmer. I believe that's it. You guys have a wonderful evening, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.